On September 25th, 1962, Floyd Patterson would defend his heavyweight title versus Sonny Liston. As for Sonny Liston, this fight had been a long time coming. Even today, many are unaware that Sonny Liston was the #1 contender in 1960, 2 years before the fight would happen. Floyd Patterson's trainer and manager, Cus D'Amato, did not want his fighter to face Sonny Liston, all due to Sonny Liston's involvement with the mob. After all, Sonny Liston's contract was partly owned by Frankie Carbo and Blinky Palermo, also both heavily involved with the mob. However, against the wishes of Cus D'Amato, Floyd Patterson gave Sonny Liston his title shot. But let's take a step back for a minute. On June 26 of 1959, Floyd Patterson would make his 5th title defense versus Ingemar Johansson. But Johansson would pull off the upset and knock Floyd Patterson out in the 3rd round. Floyd Patterson would put up a valiant effort, getting up off the canvas 6 times. But after the 7th knockdown, the referee would call a stop to the action. Fast forward just 1 year, on June 20th, 1960, Floyd Patterson would be the first heavyweight in the history of boxing to gain the title for a 2nd time when he caught Johansson with a brutal left hook in the 5th round. The trilogy fight would take place March 13th, 1961. Floyd Patterson would be knocked down 2 times in the 1st round, but he showed great composure and a lot of heart as he was able to get the knockout victory in round number 6. On December 4th, 1961, Sonny Liston would face off against Albert Westphal. And Westphal, a former Germany heavyweight champion, was floored in the 1st round when Liston caught him with a straight right.
Let me ask you this. Would you like another shot at Sonny Liston?
I don't understand you.
Would you like to fight him again?
No.
And this is what Liston had to say after the fight.
Now, after this 1-round knockout, as you know, in Toronto, Floyd Patterson will be defending his title against Tom McNeely. Who do you want to fight in the ring in your next engagement?
The man got the title.
Mr. Floyd Patterson, currently the heavyweight champion. Let us ask you this, Sonny. What have you heard are your chances of getting that title fight?
I think it's very good from what I hear.
And whether you liked him or not, Sonny Liston deserved a title shot. And 10 months later, the two would finally meet and face off for the heavyweight title of the world. The fight would take place in Chicago, Illinois, and despite being champion, Floyd Patterson entered the fight as an 8-5 underdog. Sonny Liston would enter this fight at 214 pounds, whereas Floyd Patterson weighed in at just 189 pounds. But Sonny Liston's most notable advantage would be his 13-inch reach advantage, which was one of the reasons Sonny Liston's jab was so effective. And many experts would say Sonny Liston's jab was the best jab in heavyweight history. He possessed the type of jab that went through his opponents. But that wasn't all Sonny Liston had in his arsenal. He had a mean left hook and a nasty straight right. And Floyd Patterson used the peekaboo style that his manager and trainer Cus D'Amato created. The peekaboo boxing style is based on counterpunching. The fighter, with his hands held high, would come forward using a lot of movement in hopes of slipping or weaving his opponent's punches so he can get inside and let his punches go with bad intentions. You won't see a lot of fighters who have used the peekaboo style become champion. It's somewhat uncommon of a style to use. It's effective, but it can also be very taxing for the person using it as you're constantly in motion.
And work on the challenger's body.
And as you'll see right here, Liston is already trying to time Patterson's lunges with his uppercut. As this fight goes on, you'll notice Patterson tries to stay inside by clinching and holding, which is very smart as he's trying to stay inside Liston's range. And Patterson knows that standing at Liston's range is suicide.
Patterson's bobbing and weaving
Although
makes
sometimes
Liston
effective,
miss often.
Patterson had a tendency to squat down and come up with a left hook. And as Liston did here, fighters were able to see it coming and back out of his range before the punch got there. And as they turn around here, you'll see Liston do the exact opposite. He will move forward with his jab, which smothers any sort of attack Patterson may have been coming with. And similar to Joe Frazier, Patterson bobs up and down a lot, which at times can be effective. But for a good uppercut puncher, this could be a field day for them. Although Patterson used a good bit of movement, he didn't have a lot of lateral movement. He more or less stood in front of you, bobbed and weaved. He didn't shift or circle around. He's giving Liston a still target to hit. And with Liston's power, that could be catastrophic for Patterson. Patterson will slip Liston's jab right there, get inside and try to stay inside. But Liston will catch him with a left hook right there, high on the temple. He's hurt bad in the ropes. And right there you will see one of the nastiest left hooks that lands across Patterson's jaw. And he is down and he is hurt bad. He struggles to get up, but the ref waves it off. He's about a second too late to beat the count. And Sonny Liston is now your new heavyweight champion of the world.
And now that final combination, the left, the grazing right,
and I don't know too many boxers who will be able to take that left hook right there. A clean hook landed right on the jaw, snapped his head around, knocks your equilibrium off, and it is hard to recover. And here you see Liston being a true gentleman, showing great sportsmanship towards Floyd Patterson. And after all, Patterson was the one who gave him his title shot. Love him or hate him, Sonny Liston earned this championship. And at this time, he was viewed by many experts as indestructible, unbeatable. These two would go on to rematch each other just a year later, and again, Sonny Liston would win by a brutal first-round knockout.